holiday we had just 1 month ago. That's right, St. Patrick's Day. Now I know my accent is probably more ridiculous than Irish, but I like to try my hand at it once a year on March 17th. Like many of you, I've celebrated St. Patrick's Day since I was a wee youngin'. But how many of us actually know who St. Patrick was, or why we wear green and talk about leprechauns? I think we'll all appreciate this holiday a little bit more if we know more about its origins. Of course, this holiday was named after Patrick. He was born around 400 AD, somewhere in Britain. At age 16, he was captured by Irish raiders who came to invade his family's farm. For 6 long, lonely years, he served as a slave and a prisoner. During that time, he turned to religion for his comfort, and he was directed to a life of Christianity based on 2 revelations he received. After 6 years of a prisoner, he managed to escape and returned to Britain, but later he went back to Ireland to serve as a missionary there. Some credit him with bringing Christianity to Ireland, while others believe he simply furthered the work. St. Patrick died on March 17th around the year 460 AD, and the Irish have celebrated the anniversary of his death ever since. So now we know a little bit more about the life of St. Patrick. But what about all those other things we associate with this holiday? They are more a representation of Irish heritage and traditions than the life of St. Patrick himself. For example, green represents the beautiful plants that surround Ireland, including shamrocks, which are sacred because they represent rebirth in the spring. As you all know, we celebrate green here by wearing it, or getting pinched. And in Chicago, they even dye the river green with 20 pounds of non-hazardous vegetable dye every year, which keeps it a bright green color for several hours on St. Patrick's Day. Corned beef and cabbage are also often associated with St. Patrick's Day. While cabbage is traditionally grown in Ireland, corned beef was actually introduced to poor Irish immigrant families in America by their Jewish neighbors because it was much less expensive than their traditional dish of Irish bacon. Interesting. Now lastly, leprechauns were not associated at all with St. Patrick's Day until about 50 years ago, when Disney released a movie about happy little leprechauns on St. Patrick's Day. Before that, the Irish did believe in fairies, and leprechauns were known to be the grumpy little fairies who had the mundane job of fixing the shoes of all the other fairies. Legend had it that if you heard a shoemaker's hammer, you might be lucky enough to find a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow. To summarize, when we celebrate St. Patrick's Day, we recognize and honor the life of St. Patrick, and at the same time celebrate the Irish heritage that still exists here in the United States. 4 years ago on St. Patrick's Day, President George W. Bush gave a speech. He said, "We honor the life of Patrick, patron saint of Ireland, and celebrate the rich history of the Emerald Isle." St. Patrick escaped from a life of slavery and dedicated his life to helping others through his words and his actions. His example of courage, determination, and faith captured the hearts of the Irish and continues to inspire countless people around the world. May St. Patrick's example inspire all of us as we celebrate his holiday every March 17th.